B&B 2020. Are you ready?
So from the experience of the vets, we get the relatively youth of the Ohvale Cup and the Ohvale GP machines. As they qualified this morning, Henry McCartney sitting on pole, 42.8. Harley McCabe in second on a 43.01. Reuben Bray, Warwick Brady, Luca Hopkins and Zach Weston in sixth place. Seventh position was George Bowes from Wilson Dilks in eighth. Ninth, Laken Payne. 10th was Arnie Carr. Daniel Stevenson 11th and Monty Hillier in 12th position. Ralph Croft in 13th. Luca Wilkinson, Cameron Ancliffe and Izzy Carter in 16th position. Jack Newton 17th. Kobe Garrett in 18th place. Dan Deering in 19th position. And the number 2 of Josh Bannister, no time in qualifying, so will start at the back of the field. So this Ohvale Cup, Italian-made machines, this is a very much a spec series H, very much a spec series, ages 8 to 12 years old. Brought to you in association with Ohvale and OMG Racing. And these bikes, they're called sealed engines basically, so no real engine were permitted on these bikes. A lot of new riders in this one as well. And talking actually on Monty Hillier, who's down there, son of course of James Hillier. Very accomplished TT road racing rider as well in the Northwest 200, also GP events like that, so very much following in his father's footsteps. And like many of these riders actually, a new rider. This is one of the first race meetings they've done pretty much. We're just waiting at the moment for the unfortunate Stan Gill on the 127 in that Vets race just to make his way off the track. He was collided with another rider on the final lap, so just making sure the track's clear. And these Ohvale machines will be underway in just a few moments. Now this class, of course, backed and endorsed by Pete Hickman, who we spoke to at the first round of the championship. And Hickman, of course, he's not just a money man, he's also taken an active role behind this series as well. He was in attendance at the first round at Ella Park, supporting the riders in this class, and he also went out on the track on an Ohvale machine himself. You can't really tell, you can't see on the pictures here. When you see these bikes close up in person, they're very attractive bikes to look at actually. They're very much like scaled down Moto GP or British Superbike style machines. They really do look the part actually, these bikes. And certainly for a young rider, you would say it's the sort of machine you would want to be racing on. I think there is one rider stuck in the waitings at the moment, but everything seems to be okay and we'll get out onto the track. 2020 actually is the first season of Ohvale youth racing in the UK. A lot of these riders as well, we've got some experienced mini bike and mini supermoto machines. There are a few rookies out here as well, but as we say, these bikes very much looking like scaled down Moto GP or British Superbike style machines. And for a young rider, it's certainly look the part on them. I think as a young rider you would want to be racing one of these because they certainly look every bit as good as the adult counterparts. So Ohvale race number 1 is about to go underway. It really hit the ground running and was a big hit at Ella Park, and I'm sure today on this fast Lydd circuit we will go from strength to strength at round number 2. So riders on the line. Riders on the track at the moment. Last 2 riders lining up on the grid, and we'll be underway for Ohvale race number 1 in just a few moments' time. Last few riders taking their place. We've got the trackside marshals, pickup marshals on the track now, just making sure the riders are okay. And the starter will ask these marshals to move into the infield now, clear the track, because we are about to get racing underway. Ohvale race number 1 is about ready. The riders, there was a pause there. We were about to say riders ready, but I think there was a guy at the back just hitting a bit of trouble. They've lost the 179 there, losing the engine on the line, so just make sure that machine will start up. Just getting the bike into neutral. Sometimes bikes can be difficult to start in gear sometimes, so it might be helpful on the motor just to get it back into neutral. And I think we're okay. So everyone is now ready. Green flag goes up, and Ohvale race number 1 is go. Everyone seems to get away well. 179, Harley McCabe had that drama at the start, but gets away just ahead of Henry McCartney, Warwick Brady, Ruben Bray, and Luca Hopkins, all amongst the front. I think McCartney may have taken the lead, actually, going towards the top of the track. We've lost the 46 of Izzy Carter in trouble at the line there, but gets away. So Izzy Carter with a bit of work to do at the back of the field. Meanwhile, the race goes on, and it looks to me like Henry McCartney may well have taken the lead. Ruben Brain there as well. Warwick Brady on the number 99 there. We see the 37 of Monty Hillier in there as well. Dan Deering running up the field on the number 80 as the leaders make their way down towards the first lap completion. And Henry McCartney leads from Harley McCabe, Ruben Bray, Warwick Brady, Luca Hopkins, and George Bowes. Number 11 there of Daniel Stevenson battling with Laken Payne and Wilson Dilks. And this technical start of the lap just on the edge of the top 10. Some close battles with the top 10. Dan Deering going through in 18th. There we see the number 46 of Izzy Carter, 19th place after losing the bike at the start. And Carter working hard to get back with 12 seconds to make up on the rest of the field as the leaders make their way round for lap number 2. And Henry McCartney, after that great start, fastest lap of the race, 43.12, trying to break away now from Harley McCabe and Ruben Bray. We've got the 99 Warwick Brady in there, Luca Hopkins, George Bowes, Zach Weston, Arnie Carr, Daniel Stevenson, and Laken Payne running out the top 10. Wilson Dilks 11th, Monty Hillier in 12th from Luca Wilkinson, Ralph Croft, Cameron Ancliffe, Jack Newton in 16th place, Kobe Garrett, and Dan Deering just crossing the line in 18th place. Izzy Carter still charging away at the back, closing up on some of the tail enders. There's the 67 of George Bowes down towards the final corner. Zach Weston in there as well, and the 83 of Arnie Carr just a little bit further behind as the leaders make their way through past the finish line to complete another lap. Very fast circuit here at Lydd, and it's some fast, furious racing. No room for error really, because they are running very close together. There's Stevenson on the 11.41 of Laken Payne and Wilson Dilks in there, but we concentrate at the moment on the number 11 of Daniel Stevenson. Was down the inside having a look there, was Laken Payne. Brave move there, but did well to back out of that one because I didn't think it was going to come off. And there we see 41, Laken Payne having to try again with Daniel Stevenson and Wilson Dilks in there as well. The battle goes on. Just ahead of them now is the 83 of Arnie Carr. Still Henry McCartney that leads from Harley McCabe, and this three-way battle on the edge of the top 10. Daniel Stevenson, Wilson Dilks, and Laken Payne. Just coming into shot there was Monty Hillier on the 37, just outside the top 10. Now, of course, Monty Hillier, this is his second ever race meeting, so relative novice, but he certainly has got plenty of experience behind him, and he's looking to learn the ropes here. He'll be trying to close up on Laken Payne and Wilson Dilks, battling on the edge of the top 10. There's the number 11 of Daniel Stevenson. Still see Wilkinson in 9th place, Dilks just behind from Laken Payne. Down the back straight they go. And there we see Monty Hillier in there as well, just in 12th place. Son, of course, of James Hillier, so famous father. And certainly doing well so far in the midfield. Ralph Croft is in 13th place at the moment, just a little bit further behind this battle. On the number 49, Luca Wilkinson, Cameron Ancliffe, and Jack Newton. They just make their way through now. Still at the front of the field, though, Henry McCartney is that leads the way. We look at the 67. Machine now, George Bowes, currently in 6th place. Bowes concentrating hard through the S's because he's got behind him the 35 of Zach Weston. Having a look down the inside into the final corner, although I don't think quite made it through. Very close battle there as they make their way through. Here we see towards the front though, it's still close with Henry McCartney leading the way. Harley McCabe, Reuben Bray and Warwick Brady in 4th place. 6 laps to go in this first Ohvale GP race. As George Bowes shuts the door on Zach Weston. I think they've just lapped Dan Deering, who drops down behind. There's 46, Izzy Carter, had that difficult start to the race, and Carter's certainly not giving up. Here's the 35. Machine of Zach Weston trying to close up on George Bowes as they make their way down towards the final hairpin. There's Izzy Carter. A bad start to the race, but already has passed the machine of Dan Deering, so certainly not giving up. 135. That's Jack Newton currently in 16th place, and Newton aware, of course, the leaders are coming through, so just letting them through, giving the corner up for those slow riders. Now, is that Izzy Carter coming through? I think that's... Oh, that might be George Bowes, actually. My mistake, no, it's the 41. 141 of Luke Hopkins in 5th place. 99. Warwick Brady had a strong race in 4th so far. Luke Hopkins just a bit further behind in 5th place at the moment, though. It's all about Henry McCartney that leads, although Harley McCabe has set the fastest lap of the race and is starting to close up. Reuben Bray in the tow in 3rd place as well. So this, with 4 laps to go, this Ohvale first race could really be closing up now. George Bowes and Zach Weston still battling away there. We see them going through now. Very, very close indeed. They make their way through some of the slower traffic. I think Kobe Garrett in there as well. Also having to allow the leaders through as best they can. At the moment, though, Henry McCartney on the number 31 is still leading the way as they make their way around the final few corners. This Ohvale first race drawing to a close, but still very close between the top 3. So McCartney leads. McCabe in there as well. It's really getting close at the front. Reuben Bray in 3rd place. Let's have a look at this one here. There's McCabe, 2nd place, number 179. Had that trouble at the start when he lost the engine, but got things back underway. Looks like they've just encountered some slower traffic though, so Henry McCartney has pulled away slightly there. We see just behind is the number 12 of Reuben Bray, as McCabe in 2nd place, number 179, battles hard and tries to close up on the race leader, number 31, Henry McCartney. 2 laps to go at the end of this one. There we see, just in shot there, is the 31 of McCartney going round the final corner. 2 laps to go in Ohvale race 1, and Henry McCartney still leading. The gap goes up slightly to 1.5 seconds. There's the 49, currently in 13th place, Ralph Croft. I think Croft just saw the 2nd place man there coming through, so yeah, McCabe's got through. Ralph Croft, number 49, still in 13th position, just behind the battle between Monty Hillier, Lake and Payne, Wilson Dilks on the edge of the top 10. There's the 31 though, the race leader, Henry McCartney, looking strong as he makes his way through the field. And just ahead now, let's see, I think that may possibly be Dan Deering, currently in 19th place. Lapped by the leader as they head towards the final lap. At the moment though, Henry McCartney looking strong into this final lap. Harley McCabe in 2nd, Reuben Bray very close for 3rd. There's Deering as McCabe just nips down the inside going around the first chicane. There we see the race leader though, number 31, Henry McCartney into the top corner. Down the back straight, it's a glance over the shoulder. Now I think he knows he's got the gap. He's got to keep his wits about him here because there is still half a lap to go. It's quite dry out there. It's a bit slippy in places because of the high track temperatures. So McCartney's got to keep a cool head here in towards the final hairpin. For the last time, Henry McCartney, number 31, Ohvale race number 1, punches the air as he goes through, and a good ride there from Henry McCartney. It's close to the line for 2nd place. Harley McCabe in 2nd, Reuben Bray in 3rd. Dan Deering goes through in 19th, and Warwick Brady in 4th, Luke Hopkins in 5th. There goes George Bowes, who held off Zach Weston to the end. He takes 6th place. Arnie Carr should be coming through very shortly, a little bit further behind the number 83, but he looks happy, doesn't he? Henry McCartney, he seems very chuffed with that one, and who can blame him because he ran very well for the entire race. took the win by just a shade under 3 seconds. Very hard fought race victory. A bit further back, Stevenson in 9th, Dilks 10th, and Lake and Payne 11th, Monty Hillier crossing the line in 12th. And last ride, I think, it was Ralph Croft just going through. He takes 13th position. Here we go then with the second race of the day for the Ohvale GP machines, and let's recap the morning qualifying. Henry McCartney was the fastest qualifier with a 42.8 from Harley McCabe in second, Ruben Bray in third, Warwick Brady fourth, Luca Hopkins in fifth, Zach Weston qualified in sixth position. Seventh was George Bose and Wilson Dilks, Lake and Payne in ninth, Arnie Carr in 10th, Daniel Stevenson 11th, and Monty Hillier in 12th. Ralph Croft 13th from Luca Wilkinson, Cameron Ancliffe, Izzy Carter, Jack Newton, Kobe Garrett in 18th place. Dan Deering qualified in 19th, and Josh Bannister, no time in qualifying, starts at the back. So Ohvale, this, as we say, debut class for 2020. Ellis Park saw the debut of the Ohvale machines in the UK. Italian-made bikes. As we said earlier on in the programme, to look at them close up in the paddock, they really do resemble scaled down either mini Moto GP or British Superbike type machines. And they really are great for these young riders to race on. This series brought to the UK with the assistance of the TT legend Peter Hickman, who we spoke to at Ellis Park a few weeks ago, and he really has taken an active interest in this series. He's helped to bring the bikes to the UK, and as well as, of course, as well as it being a business opportunity, it's very much a chance for him to help give something back to the sport, you would say, help develop young riders coming through. And he was, on a personal level, he was very taken by these bikes. He felt they were good for the young riders. And the issue is, of course, with the Ohvale machines, they are stock-based as well. There's sealed engines. There are no real modifications allowed to them. They have to be sealed for competition, which means that it is straightforward to get into this class and get racing as well. So a good way to get the young riders into the sport and really learn their racecraft as well. It was an exciting first round at Ellis Park, and quite a lot of young riders in this one new to the sport as well, just learning their racecraft as well, getting used to being out on the track in race competition. And I'm sure as the year goes on, these riders will get more and more experienced, more accomplished out on the track. But at the front there is some very good racecraft on offer from these riders as well. I'm sure there'll be a few names to look out for in the future, of course. Pete Hickman, of course, who we mentioned earlier on in the show. He, of course, we spoke to him at the first round, fastest man on the Isle of Man TT. Speaking of the Isle of Man, James Hillier, trackside at the moment, looking after his son, who is out in this race as well. Monty Hillier qualifying just outside of the top 10 in one of his first ever race meetings, and he'll be looking, I'm sure, to follow in his father's footsteps. The green flag goes up, and Ohvale race 2 is underway. Oh, great run on the outside from Harley McCabe. Trouble on the start. One rider goes down. Harley McCabe with a good getaway. They ran the outside. We're just trying to identify who that rider was that went down. It appears they're okay. Now, I think that was Arnie on the number 83. He's had such a good afternoon so far, but drops the bike on the start line. At the front, though, good jump on the outside from Harley McCabe from the 31 of Henry McCartney, who tries to look down the inside. Ruben Bray watching in third. And looks like Arnie Carr gets away at the back of the field. The rider who dropped the bike on the start line, the 83. Winner earlier on, of course, of the first race of the block. We had the Junior Supermoto 90. That was won by Arnie Carr, but now Carr is in last place and cut adrift from the rest of the pack, so he's got some work to do with 11 laps to go. McCartney leads, getting past McCabe on that first lap. It's Ruben Bray in third, Zach Weston fourth, Warwick Brady in fifth, Hopkins Bowes, and the 85 of Wilson Dilks in 8th place, 9th for Lake and Payne, Daniel Stevenson 10th, Cameron Ancliffe in 11th place from Ralph Croft, and Monty Hillier in 13th, Luca Wilkinson, Jack Newton a bit further behind. But we look at the race leader, Henry McCartney, on the number 31. Not really shaking off Harley McCabe at the moment. At the final corner they go, and McCabe, good drive out to that final corner. The 179 of Harley McCabe is really starting to put Henry McCartney under some pressure here as they go up towards the chicane. This tight hairpin, left-hand corner now, about the slowest part of the track. And then it all gets quicker. Oh, as McCabe has a look down the inside of McCartney, but doesn't quite pull the move off. McCartney glancing over the shoulder. And they say sometimes you've got to be careful doing that, really. Just keep looking down the road, not worrying about the rider behind you so much. But McCartney knows that McCabe's there. And Harley McCabe trying to apply the pressure as they go into the hairpin. Henry McCartney, nice line though, guards that inside line. And Harley McCabe, oh, red flag. We had a red flag. There's an incident, I think, at the top of the track. Oh, that's a shame. That was developing into a nice race now. Just trying to see that right. It might have been George Bowe, 67, looking at the number on there that went off. But as you can see for yourself, the rider appears to be okay, and gets a bit of comfort there, but looks a bit perplexed there. Don't know if he got caught out by the bike or something, just seemed to get away from him. That's a very fast part of the track, actually, where that incident's occurred. And the unfortunate George Bowes, red flag is out, and the medics making their way out onto the course now. As the Ohvale machines go back out for a sighting lap, they'll return back to the grid, and this race will be restarted for its 10-lap conclusion. Riders will rejoin the race back to on the positions where they started when the red flag came out. Minus, it appears, the unfortunate George Bowes, who's just behind that van there, actually. We just saw in the shot, he's just talking things over. He seems okay. And there are one or two riders who finished their racing for the day, making in most cases, the long journey back up north. It's quite a trek for a lot of these riders, but certainly well worth the journey, especially on a day like today. So Ohvale machines now making their way back towards the start line for the restart of this race. Still 10 laps to go when the red flag came out, and we saw quite a good battle between Henry McCartney and Harley McCabe when that red flag came out. Not much between those two riders, so let's have a look and see what happens when the race restarts in just a few moments. Last few riders coming in then from the sighting lap, and I think that's Izzy Carter, possibly just lost the engine, and Izzy had some trouble in the first race when the bike, I think, it stalled on the line, and a bit of work to do. But Izzy Carter back with the rest of the field now. I think that's Monty Hillier there, number 37. The famous son, of course, and it looks like this is only his, I was told earlier, only his second competitive race meeting, but he's got the bike fired up. The 37 just on the edge of the top 10 as the flag drops, and away they go. Oh, but this time Henry McCartney made that start a bit better than he did the first time and made that corner his. Harley McCabe in second, Ruben Bray in third. So here we go again. Still a long way to go in this race, and it's still as you were at the front, and already Henry McCartney and Harley McCabe starting to pull away. There's the 31, Henry McCartney, the race leader. Ruben Bray in third, Warwick Brady and Luca Hopkins. McCartney leads them down towards the final corner. Let's have a look at the 179 there of Harley McCabe. Seemed to get a better drive out of the final corner. Not able to find a way through at the moment. Ruben Bray still in third. It's Warwick Brady fourth, Luca Hopkins fifth. Weston in sixth, Dilk seventh, Payne in eighth, Stevenson ninth, and Luca Wilkinson rounding out the top 10. A bit further back, Ralph Croft, Arnie Carr, Cameron Ancliffe, Monty Hillier, Izzy Carter, and Jack Newton, Kobe Garrett and Dan Deering, 18th place rounding out the field on that first lap. But all of the action is at the front between the 31 of Henry McCartney, and 179 Harley McCabe having a look down the inside, but McCartney shuts the door. They cross the line, nothing at all between those riders. Oh, that is incredibly close on the lap times. 43.01 for Henry McCartney, 43.03 for McCabe. Barely anything in it, and just goes to show this sort of stock-based racing, the bikes, sealed engines, nothing at all between the bikes, really does produce some close racing at the front with these machines. And let's see what McCabe can do here. 179 in second place. Henry McCartney 31, the race leader, looks very smooth, very quick as well. So let's see what McCabe can do here. What he'll want to do now is try and stick on the back wheel of Henry McCartney. Just look at his lines, and he's still got 9 laps to go, so he's got a bit of time here just to try and suss out the race leader. Henry McCartney, the race leader, has got to try and break away, but McCabe, you would say, would be a case of just studying the machine in front, just seeing what lines he's using. Because there will surely be places where McCabe is quicker and maybe perhaps might be able to steal an advantage possibly. We concentrate now on the battle of the third place, number 12 of Ruben Bray and Warwick Brady, third and fourth, very close indeed, much like the two leaders. So first and second battling, third and fourth very close as well. Luca Hopkins further behind with the machine of Zach Weston. Ruben Bray, number 12, Warwick Brady right on his tail. This is pretty much a copy of the battle for the lead. Those two leaders just going out of shot, McCartney and McCabe. The two leaders still lapping in the 42 second region at the moment, and third and fourth in the 43, so the pace hasn't really dropped off in this Ohvale class. They are lapping still at a very quick pace. They go down the inside of the number 80 of Dan Deering, currently in 18th place, as McCabe has a look down the inside. Drifts a bit wide on the apex of the hairpin, then gets a good exit down the finish line straight, but not close enough to go for a pass here. McCabe, second place, 179. There's your leader, number 31, Henry McCartney. And McCabe trying to find a way through. These riders again pretty much identical on lap times, identical on pace here. And this, with 5 laps to go, looks like it could be quite a close battle to the finish here. Nothing at all between these two riders, and they certainly won't want to be banging bars here, because just a little bit further behind, Ruben Bray and Warwick Brady, you might just see them in shot, there they are. So not too much between the top 4. So McCabe trying to get past. And have a look at the lap times here. They are pulling away slightly from Ruben Bray and Warwick Brady, but not by very much. You can pretty see on the lap charts here. Let's have a look at the times on the left of the screen. 2.6 seconds between first and this rider here, number 12, Ruben Bray. Still with Warwick Brady just behind in fourth place. Now the two leaders are starting to close up on the back markers. There's Bray, and yeah, they are filtering their way through here. That's Henry McCartney doing a good job here of filtering his way through some of the midfield riders. Where is McCabe? Let's have a look. Oh, he's still there. He's lost a little bit of time, but not very much, as they go through to the top corner. Back towards us, and oh, McCartney having a glance over the shoulder there just to see if he's managed to shake off McCabe. But the answer to that one is not quite. He has pulled away slightly, 3 laps to go. There is Ruben Bray. Now let's have a look. That's the 135 of Jack Newton, currently in 15th place, about to be lapped by the leading group. Cameron Ancliffe on the number 7 has gone through in 14th place. Currently the last rider on the lead lap, although just being passed by the leaders at the top of the circuit. McCabe second, Ruben Bray, Warwick Brady, Luke Hopkins, Zach Weston, Wilson Dilks on the 85. There's the number 7. That very Barry Sheen-esque Continental 7 on the front there. You'll recognise that sort of number plate. That's Cameron Ancliffe who is currently in 14th place. 31 though, Henry McCartney down the back straight, pulling away slightly from McCabe, who goes down the inside. I believe that is Ancliffe there in 14th. The pace picking up as we go into the last lap, just outside of the top 10. The number 11 of Daniel Stevenson, 10th place, and Monty Hillier currently in 11th. His fastest lap of the race, Hillier setting a 45.64, just ahead of Luca Wilkinson and Ralph Croft on the 49. 1 lap to go though, and Henry McCartney, again just checking his progress. He's really pulling away now from Harley McCabe. McCabe not dealing with the midfield traffic quite as well as McCartney. That's the 49 of Ralph Croft, Luca Wilkinson in there as well, 76. And McCartney now coming around the final corner. Monty Hillier will be the last rider on the lead lap, as I think we are going through for another lap actually. I think there's been a glitch. Of course the race was stopped before. Does seem to be still going on. Yeah, we are still under race conditions by the looks of things. So McCartney nipping down the inside of the 37, Monty Hillier. Glancing over the shoulder again to check. So Monty Hillier, of course, son of James Hillier. Very established TT and Northwest rider, and running well in one of his first ever race meetings. But Henry McCartney looks like he's going to win this race. He had to fight so hard to hold on to the lead at the first part of the race, but he's taken the checkered flag, I believe. Well, he's still racing, I think. So our timing chart showing us showing the race is completed, but when you look at them going around, I think they are still at race pace. Whether this has been a full restart, possibly, we'll just wait and see. But certainly there's Henry McCartney, number 31. Now, we were told on the timing systems this would be the last lap, but certainly McCartney, well, I don't think he's slowing down. He's not going back to the pits just yet. He's still under race pace. And there's Harley McCabe in second, so looks like they're still going round. Here we go then, Henry McCartney crossing the line from Harley McCabe. So I think this, presumably this must be a full restart then, because the race is still going on. Reuben Bray, number 12, still in third from Warwick Brady. Luca Hopkins goes through. Just in the number 49 of Ralph Croft battling with Luca Wilkinson. I believe this is the last lap of the race. Just put the board out now, so 1 lap to go for the 31 of Henry McCartney, who's done so well in this race. Quite a long time out on track for these riders after that restart. And Henry McCartney now round the final corner. There we go. This is the last lap now, so Henry McCartney still on the 42s. He's lapping, running very well indeed. There looks like the number 11 of Daniel Stevenson in the top 10. Henry McCartney with 1 lap to go in this race. He's run so well. Wants to be careful because he doesn't want to trip over Daniel Stevenson. He was just checking his progress, but approaching fast on Stevenson, who himself is running well. So that means that the top 9 are still on the lead lap as he nips past Stevenson round the final corner. And a great ride for the number 31. Henry McCartney takes the checkered flag. It will be 179 Harley McCabe in second after that early pressure. Third position for the number 12, Reuben Bray. Warwick Brady in fourth, and Luca Hopkins rounding out the top 5.